What's up, guys? It's time again for another Geeks with Wives and Capes. This time we're up to episode 55. Can't believe we made it this long. This is your comic book, TV, movie podcast, and now novel podcast. I'm your host, Casey, at Casey's Comics, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, Will and Piper. How's it going, guys?
We're good. Hey, Casey.
What?
You know what I'm excited about?
What are you excited about?
Besides about our awesome guest, everybody keeps talking about Shark Week, okay? I don't care about sharks. You know what I'm excited about? Stark Week. That's why I'm wearing my Stark
Way
shirt.
better.
Way better.
Way better.
Got that shout out in just like he promised.
Yeah, background. You like my new background? I spent all last weekend cleaning so I could have this nice new background for you guys.
It's very, very nice.
But Stark Week, way better than Shark Week. Sorry.
So
he can wield Thor's hammer.
Of.
That's the exclusive.
Yeah, I recognize the characters, but that's the Age of Ultron supposed poster.
Yeah, that they were
promotional.
That's actually 8 posters in 2 frames. So.
Nice.
Everybody was killing each other at Comic-Con trying to get those from the Marvel booth. So.
That is awesome.
Yes.
So have you changed clothes at all this week, Will?
I don't think so. Yeah. It smells stark fresh.
So, Piper, we obviously know what Will's been doing this week. What have you been up to?
Ranting a lot on Twitter about various things. Pissing people off. Got a new team member. A new recruit but that's a Mary Kay thing, so it's not very interesting to guys.
No, let's talk Mary Kay. Mary Kay it up. What do you got? New dresses in stock, new lipstick. What do you got for us?
That Cadillac.
Oh, I want that Cadillac. Well, if you want to know what I'm doing with my Mary Kay business, actually, is I really want to gear towards cosplayers and convention-going girls and guys to teach them how to quickly take care of their skin while they're doing all that convention stuff, especially the cosplayers with the heavy makeup. I would also like to do makeup tutorials using Mary Kay makeup because it actually comes in some interesting colors, except this lipstick. This blue lipstick is not Mary Kay. Everything else is.
I may need a Harley Quinn tutorial because next week I got to do a photo shoot with my wife and dress her up as Harley Quinn. So,
oh, hell yeah!
Finally!
I may need some tips because I'm not very good with makeup.
Depends on which Harley you're going after. I can help you, yeah.
I believe it's the Arkham City one. We got a bunch of costumes from a costume company to feature on the site. So I'm gonna dress up my wife and kid and make them take pictures and then do a little bit of write up. So you guys can look forward to that.
You need to send me some costumes. I want to get in on this. All the way in Ohio.
Well, I'll send you the email. We can definitely make that happen. So we'll talk off air, though. Nobody cares about this. This is boring for everyone.
Yeah, this is cosplay talk.
This episode brought to you by Mary Kay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that lovely voice you hear is our guest, Wilmar Luna, author of the Silver Ninja novel. How's it going, Will?
How's it going, guys? So, I'm Wilmar, and that's Will. So I guess we're going to have to probably have a little, it'll be Wilmar Prime or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
let's call him Luna. I love that name.
Luna's fine too. That's cool.
Yeah, that is so awesome.
Now
Some people win the lottery in the last name department. It's not fair.
Well, it comes in handy, that's for sure.
So, Wilmar, thank you for joining us tonight. Why don't you first off tell us your origin story and how you got into the geeky side of life?
The geeky side of life probably came from the good old 80s and 90s, because at that time it was like the golden era of video game, Ninja Turtles, He-Man, She-Ra, all that good stuff. And then when you have a cousin that lives next door that's got all these friends with comic books, then you've got Iron Man, Captain America, Superman, who was like my favorite. So it just started off there in I guess Trenton, which is kind of like the bad neighborhood nowadays, but back then I was like, hey, this is awesome, I have a great place, whatever. But yeah, it all started there with comic books and my cousin and TV shows, mainly TV shows. I love TV.
So what were some of your favorite comics as a kid?
I was definitely a big fan of Superman, Batman, but probably my number one was Captain America. I guess I'm just kind of a sucker for red, white, and blue, and the stars and stripes and all that kind of stuff. So even though I'm Spanish, I'm quite patriotic. So Captain America's my boy.
Right on, right on. So you big comic geek when you were a kid. How did that carry over into your adulthood?
Well, I actually kind of drifted away from comics when I started getting older, only because it started getting kind of soap opera-ish for me. Like, Jean Grey is now a clone of this person, and now she's married to her sister's mother's blah, 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 and, as the table turns. So I kind of lost a little bit of interest, but now that I'm seeing, like, Miles Morales pop up and all these new characters and the female Captain Marvel, I'm kind of getting interested again, but nothing that I've been brave enough to jump in because, once you start collecting comics, you start getting stacks of comics, like boom, boom, boom. So you got to be careful with that. But mostly now it's all film and TV stuff. Definitely video games. I'm a huge video game dude. And looking forward to the movies. Guardians of the Galaxy. It's on my watch list. So.
Oh, how dare you!
No
I'm gonna
spoilers.
kick you off. You haven't seen it yet?
Oh no!
You get booted. All right.
Oh, this is terrible.
It was nice talking to you, Luna. So we're gonna move on now.
Don't you bump me! Don't you bump me, Kimmel!
Awesome.
Very cool. Yeah. So you definitely go check that out. In fact, as soon as we're done this podcast, I know you're on the East Coast, but maybe you should spend the night in the movie theater and go see Guardians of the Galaxy because it's about time already.
Well, I mean, as long as I don't get arrested, I guess I could probably consider it, but...
Here, I'll figure it out.
As long as you haven't seen Ninja Turtles over Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, no, I would not.
Oh, thank you. Oh, my God.
That's a sore spot, yeah.
Oh,
So what happened with Transformers and, yeah.
Poor baby Hulks.
It's very sad.
So, let's talk about the Silver Ninja.
Yes.
How did this come about?
The Silver Ninja is an amalgamation of, let's see, She-Ra, Power Rangers, mainly the Pink Ranger, because I had a huge crush on the Pink Ranger when I was a kid.
everybody did.
Kimberly.
I mean,
Except me. I
Kimberly
just wanted to be her. I was the Pink Ranger.
She may have been the first female superhero I masturbated to.
See, that's something I don't want to know, because when I was a kid, I just wanted to be her. That's
That's what we
creepy.
call TMI around these parts.
Oh.
And then the last part was a mix of Metal Gear Solid Gray Fox, the Cyber Ninja running around, cutting stuff with his sword and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, what would happen if Gray Fox was actually a girl and not Olga Gurlukovich from number 2? We ignore that. We're talking about, my own idea. And that's kind of where that all, I don't know, gesticulated from. I don't even know what the word is. It just came from there.
They were your muse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. So, how did the whole process start, and like, where did you get the idea? Like, I want to write a novel, or 2, or 3.
Well, originally I wasn't gonna write a novel because my background is actually in video production and television. So I'm actually more of a video editor. I do motion graphics and special effects. So there was no way I ever thought I was gonna write a book. Not one ever. So I had like a rough draft made in 2002, and then the Spider-Man movie came out, and I was like, oh my god, this is too similar, and I got pissed, and I was like, forget it, it's gone. And then later on down the line, I'm starting to see, there's not really any female superheroes that are taken into the movies, and there's all this drama with Wonder Woman now dating Superman, and all this other crap, and Black Widow, I kind of, she's cool, but still not at the level that I'm like totally invested in. So then I was like, well, then, you know what? I'm going to do my own character, my own heroine, and I'm going to make her, try to stand up against Wonder Woman, who is, you can't push her off the pedestal even though she doesn't have her own movie yet. So, it's just a simple challenge of, I think there needs to be better female role models for, young girls and adult women, and that was my contribution in a sense.
I like you.
While we're on the topic of Wonder Woman, and I put everyone on the spot, what did you think of her costume for the new movie?
Shall we go in order?
No, I'm talking to you. We've already
No.
discussed it.
It sucked.
about it.
See, I never got to say anything about it.
Okay. We'll go with Luna and then Piper. Luna, go.
I did not like it at all. She just did not convey Wonder Woman to me. Maybe functionality-wise, it kind of worked in that kind of sense. But as far as Gal Gadot and her body type for what Wonder Woman should be and all that kind of stuff, I think there were better choices that they could have gone with. I don't pull no punches.
Piper, what'd you think of it?
Xena.
Yeah.
She looks like a Xena mini-me.
Yeah.
She's tiny. I'm actually really curious the direction they're going with that actress.
Yeah, Gal Gadot. I mean, no one's even heard anything about her. She was in Fast and the Furious. That's about it. Okay.
Yeah, this might
you
be
got acting
good.
chops.
This might be a good chance for her. I mean, the problem is they're putting her as a background character, which sucks because if she doesn't work out, she becomes canon in the movies, though.
Yep.
So I'm really curious what they're doing with that. However, the costume kind of, it kind of does say Greek Amazon crap. It does kind of do that, but it's too Xena.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should have mixed more classic elements into it, and tried to just modify the classic elements instead of just putting her in a Xena costume.
I think the costume from that fan trailer Wonder Woman was way better than what they have in the movie.
The costumes from the fan stuffs are always better. Even the little movies on YouTube they're better. Oh man.
They just need to get the fans to do this and be like, move. You don't know what you're doing.
Yep.
Well, have you guys heard the rumor that Disney is looking to buy WB and DC?
I did not.
I have not heard of that.
I honestly think if it goes down, it might actually be an improvement.
I definitely think it would be an improvement. I mean,
yeah.
with the whole Gal Gadot thing, I have no doubt that if she doesn't work out, they'll just recast her.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they're going to do a solo movie, because no offense to Gal Gadot, she's not going to carry a solo movie. So who's going to be the star of that movie? I mean, Angelina Jolie and Scarlett Johansson and those types of people can barely carry female-led movies, let alone some no-name girl, even if she is Wonder Woman. So yeah, I definitely think they have a huge uphill battle on their hands.
Not sure who they could cast.
I think Gina Carano is a good spot, although
she can't act.
Well, you didn't let me finish. Didn't let me finish. I said she needs a couple more movies under her belt, where she can act. But I mean, where she can learn some more acting chops. But I mean, she definitely has the physicality of the role. Yeah. I want to see Ronda Rousey in Expendables 3. I want to see what her kind of presence like and acting chops are like. Because I think if you dyed her hair brunette, she could totally carry the role. I think there's much more physical action star actresses that could carry the role, and I agree with you guys. I just don't think Gal Gadot puts off that Amazonian vibe that's needed, especially when you're establishing a character like that.
Right.
Yeah, she's unfortunately kind of puny.
Yeah,
I want to see a female action star in the role, but I don't want to see the same chicks that I've seen in every goddamn movie. Like Angelina Jolie, she needs to give it a rest for a little bit because I'm tired of her. Scarlett Johansson is a cutie. I like her as Black Widow, and that's about it. But she's already Black Widow, so I'd rather her not cross to DC.
Yeah, we don't need another Ryan Reynolds female version. Yeah. I'll be Deadpool and Green Lantern and all these other characters.
Granted, Ryan Reynolds needs to stay Deadpool.
Although, that Deadpool test footage, if you guys saw it, is amazing.
Oh my god, that was so awesome.
He was meant for Deadpool. I don't know why he was the Green Lantern. That was retarded, but he is meant for Deadpool, I think.
He was hot. He was hot at the time. Yeah. Well, I mean, DC has their own problems, and we'll talk about this maybe in news, but they also hinted at Zatanna is going to show up in Arrow. And this is another issue I have. It does, but we have a Constantine show. Now, Zatanna is going to show up there, too. So now we're going to have 2 Zatannas on the screen. We're going to have multiple flashes and arrows in movie versions and TV versions. We're going to have multiple Zatannas in movie versions and TV versions.
So they're not
Fate is going to show up at some
they're
point.
not syncing their stuff at all, or trying to sync it in the
Nothing's
slightest?
synced at all. They can't.
Wow.
They can't because different
See,
television studios own them.
See, I used to say DC had the television market, but Marvel had the movie market. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ties in with the damn movies, and it is so freaking awesome the way it ties in. So maybe Marvel's actually taking the TV too.
Well, yeah, I'm really interested to see how Agent Carter does and fits all and all that. Because with Agent Carter, it doesn't really have to fit into anything because it's so far separated from the timeline.
Right.
But they can go nuts with that show, and that can be their kind of like off the brand kind of show where they don't have to worry about continuity so much. But yeah, with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it got best when it was tying into the movies. Those were always the best episodes.
It had a really slow start, and I was kind of like, oh, this sucks. Everybody's a flat character, and the plots are kind of boring and typical. And then it started. It got its grounding. Started taking off.
Picked up steam and took off.
All right, well, we got off on a tangent. Let's go to Wilmar and his book.
It's still comics related.
Still female comics related.
Now, this is why I didn't approach DC or Marvel to give them my characters, because of what you guys are talking about right now. I don't want. Let's say if I go with Marvel or something, because she would be a better fit there. Then it would be like, all right, well, why don't we give her powers so that it's like from a mystical totem or whatever, and we're gonna like do this clone saga thing, and then she'll be in love with her sister or something. I think that'll be pretty awesome. It'll sell a lot of comics.
Is that your Joe Quesada impression?
Oh my god.
Is that your Joe Quesada impression?
I have no idea who it is. It's just random Joe Schmuck.
If you want this story to be a movie, all I can say is stay as far away from Michael Bay as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Avoid him like the plague. He will destroy it.
Yeah. And DC, DC doesn't really seem to like female leads in their movies and comics for some reason. So
they also don't seem to like continuity. All they know is brooding Batman sells. Let's do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's make brooding Superman too.
I was like brooding Superman.
Will not be with those guys, no way.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this has turned into the DC bashing hour.
Oops.
It's not too because I love them both. I do. It's just that the people handling DC movies and TV right now suck.
Yeah.
It's not DC. It's the people.
Yeah, Arrow's fantastic though,
Not
and
the
I think that
comics.
I thought that was a step
comics.
in the right direction for them, but it seems to have not been, because they don't seem to be carrying that forward.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go back to Wilmar's book. So Wilmar, why a novel? Why not turn this into a comic book and kind of feed the genre that it's so rightly fits in?
One of the main reasons, I guess, is because I felt that writing a novel is one of the easiest and also hardest things to do. With a comic book, at the time I wasn't in a position where I could like find an artist and pay him to do work, because if you see any of the book cover artwork, I mean, I put a lot of money and investment into high quality artwork. So I didn't want to get some art student that just got out of college who hasn't proven himself saying, hey, do this entire comic for me, and I can't.
Thanks.
What did I do? What did I do?
Jerk.
I'm just saying I wasn't in a position to do a comic, but the novel was the best approach. I felt like I had more time to explore the characters, explore the themes, go into detail with the plot, whereas with the comic, you really got to be good at keeping everything concise and really impactful and fast, and I'm just not at that level where I can write short enough that it'll carry over in a comic and it'll be satisfying. So the novel was kind of a good way to just kind of branch out and have as a base foundation. And then if things pick up, then I'll consider comic books and doing movies and all that kind of stuff. But right now, the book is the first step.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gonna do.
Very cool. I was waiting for the other guy to jump in with questions. So, Come on, guys, get with it. So you talked
All
about a
right,
lot.
here's my question.
Wait, you don't get to ask questions.
I gotta take advantage of this. What's going on?
You have to hold on. Question and answer portion for the host is later. So you talk about a lot of technology and there's a lot of technical aspects and very like high-end technology talk in this book. Do you do research for that, or you kind of just make it up on the fly and hope that someday it really happens because it seems to worked well for Star Trek? How did that come about?
That's how it works for sci-fi.
Yeah.
Well, not the channel, but sci-fi the genre.
Yeah. At first, it started off with just, random imagination, blah, blah, blah. Came up with it on the fly. That's the rough draft. But then, if you really want to be a writer and you want to do it well, you need to do your research. So then I start looking into what kind of technologies are out there, what's similar to what I'm using, like the gecko gloves. That's something that people are actually developing, and it lets you actually climb walls like Spider-Man. And, rail guns and all these HUDs and all that kind of stuff. So that all came into the research part. I researched a lot of science articles, a lot of tech articles, and surprisingly, I would say at this point, in 2002, all that technology was ludicrous and impossible. Now, I'd say about 90% of that suit could be built right now. So it's quickly becoming out of date. I'm falling behind
Except
on
for
the
the part
technology
where it oozes from your pores.
Except for that part. We're still working the kinks on that.
Hey, when you let me know when you get that worked out, let me know because I can always just use a change of plants on the fly. I always just wanted to be able to click a button and change my clothes.
Wilmar, I have a
That'd be
question. I always like to ask, is there any characters that you would say in your book are loosely inspired by people in your real life or everyday life?
Interesting. Some characters were originally inspired by real life people, but then as I started writing it more and going into the editing, they started turning into their own people. So originally it was like a mix, like Cindy was like a mix of my girlfriend and all these girls that I knew, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of put them into one being. But then as I started editing and doing the work, she started kind of becoming her own thing and started veering off. And these characters developed their own personalities. So yes, there was a base foundation that everyone was based off like real friends, relatives, and all that kind of stuff. But then they just became their own, and I was like, okay, I'll work with this. This is no problem for me.
So do you think that it makes your girlfriend happy that she didn't end up completely inspired by a character in the book, or kind of mad?
Well, since she helped me edit the book, it was kind of like, she's so annoying. Why did you make this character based loosely off of me? I can't believe this crap. What are you doing? This sucks. We're going to edit this right now. Like,
we're editing this, or you're sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit of that. And then it ends with, I don't want to hear about your book ever again until your next one's ready to roll. So shut up about it and blah, blah, blah. Okay. I agree to your terms.
Does it make it easier or harder when you have your significant other edit your work?
It's a little bit of both. You really have to. Okay, this goes into relationships. You really have to have a good communication with the other person, and if she's gonna go through all this trouble to do all this work with me and not get paid for it, then I have to do something in return, whether it's support her with whatever project she has or whatever she wants to do. I pay it back by being like, all right, let me help you out with something and go from there. So it's good because she understands where I'm going with stuff, and she can decipher when I'm like, what the hell are you talking about in the rough draft, and then she helps me clean it back. And so it's definitely love-hate, because there definitely have been times where where I sat at the computer and she's like, what are you saying with this? I don't understand what you're saying. And I lean back in my chair and I go, Alt F4, screw this, I'm out of here, I'm going to delete this crap, I'm done, I don't want to write ever again.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
it's ups and downs of being a writer, huh?
Yeah. It's very bipolar.
Gotcha.
So, Luna, I have a question from Natalie, who's another geek with Wive, or she's a geek who works for, I don't know, she's a part of our website.
Okay, cool.
She has a wife?
Yeah, think about that for a minute. She's a geek with Wive.
That's awesome. I want to meet her. Him, her.
So Natalie read your book in full, and sent us some questions. So a question from her that she wanted to ask was, your storyline is so detailed oriented and has so many elements. How do you keep it all straight with all the characters, all the motivations, all the villains? How do you keep that all straight and not get lost and screw things up? It's like continuity.
Oh, well, that's one of the hardest parts, and the continuity was a big problem, especially with my first book, because this is actually book 2. So the first book, had some issues where it's like, this is a huge plot hole, why would this character do this? And the continuity was all messed up. So with this book, I adopted this new technique called the snowflake method. And basically, you go in a step-by-step little outline that says, okay, in one sentence, what is your book? An ex-assassin, blah, 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 blah. Okay, next phase. What happens in one sentence in Act 1, Act 2, Act 3? So I start laying it all out in this program in an outline format, and then I create like a calendar. So you have, January, February, March. What the hell happened in January? This happened. What happened in blah, blah, blah. So all that stuff has to be written down and kept in one document, so that way I can look at it and be like, okay, when did this happen to the plot? And I can just go, A doesn't make sense with B, so I can just move it around, edit it, and make it all fit together. So it's actually a very complicated process, and there have been a lot of times where stuff just flew under the radar because, you just don't think about it. When you're writing something, it's just going off the cuff, and you're like building this thing. It's like, oh my God, yeah, this is awesome. And then someone's like, why didn't they ask about the fact that she almost died? I mean, doesn't anybody care that the character almost died? And they're all like, hey, let's have some champagne. And I'm like, huh, you are correct. I did not think about that. So, stuff always slips through the cracks all the time.
This is why I can never write a book. I am the worst organizer in the world. This podcast is the perfect example.
It's all good, man. People seem to have a good time, and now that's all that matters. Right? They're having a good time.
Get it.
We bribe them with drugs and alcohol.
Whatever makes them happy.
To drugs and alcohol.
On the ogres.
Ixnay on the alcohol, eh?
Whoops.
Oh, no, that we're okay about. Well, we're good
So
with.
did you guys have any more questions for Wilmar before we move on to our next topic and dive deep into some movies and comic books and that kind of thing?
Have you if you weren't writing like really cool like sci-fi like comic-y type novels, what else would Wilmar be writing?
Well, Wilmar is already writing a few different things.
Okay.
Wilmar is going to speak in third person for a second. I've started writing with. I've started experimenting with some short stories. So right now I have a short story called The Lost Pariah, which is about a vampire that's trying to cure their vampirism. So I'm diving into medieval fantasy.
Okay.
And I also am thinking about doing maybe a little romance thing.
Ooh.
Not erotica. Don't get your see where the thoughts
Aww.
are. You can use your imagination for all that kind of stuff.
You gotta jump on that 50 Shades gravy train.
Yeah, 50
Yeah.
Shades of Silver Ninja?
Yeah, oh god. Well, they
Right?
put that in the book anyway, so I mean, whatever.
I'll tell you, I read half of the first book, and I don't understand what the appeal is. I like dongs and stuff, too, and that book sucked.
Yeah.
Well, it's Twilight fan fiction that she got made.
I was gonna say it. Well, what it is? It's the X-rated Twilight here, and it's probably the same following and everything because I tried to read it and I don't get it. I have read some nasty stuff. 50 Shades of Grey was the most yawn-worthy, boring thing I've ever tried to read.
We're talking about nasty stuff. Do I need to do the voice? Welcome to Geeks with Wives and Capes After Dark.
Yes.
After Dark with Luna.
Hell yeah.
Your guest host, Luna.
I need this podcast. I need to just have the separate one. It's nothing but nasty.
Well, you already got a title.
we review porn in.
So,
It would probably be the most popular.
That would probably be the most popular.
to continue with the short stories, oops, sorry.
I wouldn't mind taking one for the team and doing the research for that.
With the short stories and all that kind of stuff, that I'm still a noob, you know. I'm still kind of learning the ropes, so I kind of want to try out different voices, different perspectives, and try to improve my description so that way I'm giving you a picture with less words than what I had originally, where it was like, oh my God, look at all this purple prose, and you can't visualize anything. So, you know, you always got to practice, you always got to get better, and you always got to write. So these short stories will hopefully be a good exercise, and they're all going to be free, so people can read them. And then when I'm ready to jump back into, you know, the third book, which is going to have drug cartels and sex trafficking and all this crazy ass violence, I'll be ready to roll and be practicing, you know, hopefully have a kick-ass story.
Very cool.
All right.
That's a good idea.
Now you're turning into a real writer.
Oh yeah. Now I'm extra super excited, and you need to hurry up.
I put +2 in charisma.
There you go.
Oh, Piper.
What?
All right, so Wilmar, thank you very much for coming on, talking your book with us. Natalie, who I mentioned earlier, will be posting her review of your book tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
So make sure you guys check that out at geekswithwives.com.
I'm sure I'll be terrified and horrified.
Oh yeah, she hated it. Spoiler alert. Just ripped it a new one. In fact, you may just want to stop writing now.
That wouldn't stop me. It takes more than that to stop me.
There you go.
Throw that laptop. No, I mean, of course, she loved it to death. Like I said, whenever you have female characters and you write them well and you write them strong, you're kind of a step above the rest of the crew, the rest of the pack, because it's such a hard thing to do and a hard thing to get right and a hard thing for people to enjoy, because we've just been so indoctrinated with the white male power fantasy that when the female comes in the fold and it's done well and it's executed and it's fun and it's enjoyable, then I think it stands out that much more.
I like how you did the title in there. You put indoctrinated, you know, Silver Ninja Indoctrination. Very nicely done. That was very clever of you.
Not on purpose.
You see what we did there?
I'll let y'all into a secret. Females aren't even that great at writing strong female characters either. So, and you think we would be, but I've read enough books to know that we suck at it. So.
I don't know. You just gotta write them like, you know, normal human beings, and then they will become what they are. The problem is, I think a lot of writers tend to focus too much on the romance aspect. So, female character comes in and it's like, oh my God, it's Mikey. He's also gifted like me. We should totally hook up. And it's like, what? What happened to, you know, not having to focus on another dude character? Well, how about you just doing your own thing? Maybe you want to be a scientist or something. You don't have to be like, I need to get laid, you know? So you just need to have better motivations for the female characters.
Oh, I think a lot of it too is...
Oops, sorry.
Oh, no, you go first. Ladies
okay. Aw, thank you. He's such a gentleman. I think
don't get used to it.
Fine. But I think one of the biggest problems, honestly, with even females trying to write strong female characters is a lot of people are driven by the almighty dollar, and all it takes is an editor going, this really needs more sex if you want money.
Yeah.
And suddenly your strong female character is a wuss that needs some guy and blah, 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 needs to bang him all the time, too, no matter what's going on. That's what's happening to a lot of book series I used to read, actually. So I think that's a lot of what happens to female characters.
I mean, sex is a part of life, but it's not your one. You're not born just to be like, I'm gonna have sex with every single person. I mean, maybe some people, but you know, you have goals and you want to like aspire to do stuff. So it has to be more than just this whole. Oh, I need a relationship. I need a man in my life.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff.
Right? But no, I completely agree. That's my issue. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, females don't have chicks. Okay, don't have an edge on writing strong female characters over men. It's all what you really want to do with that character and what that character really means to you, not
What
not
about
what
Gail
it's.
Simone? Is she doing okay? I haven't read too much of Batgirl and Wonder Woman and all that kind of stuff. And read Sonya.
Um, I don't. I like a lot of the female DC characters. My problem right now is that Poison Ivy had a backstory, and she had so much potential to
Mm.
go somewhere, and they reduced her through laziness to some environmental terrorist and have tossed her to the side. Also, the new Batgirl, I'm not really happy with either.
Mm.
Well, that's
I
not Gail
liked,
Simone, to be fair.
yeah.
To answer your question, Wilmar, yes, Gail Simone and Kelly Sue DeConnick are the top female writers right now, and they're doing a fantastic job with Captain
Oh
Marvel
well,
and so on. Yes, but to Piper's point as well, that I there's other female characters that just don't. They're still just sex symbols for
Yeah.
superheroes. And I just don't think that's
Starfire.
conducive.
yeah.
Starfire being one of them.
Fire. She had some potential, and that went way out the window. I really hope that somebody steps up and saves Poison Ivy, though.
Mm. The sad part with Starfire is that the kids grew up on Teen Titans. They saw this cute Starfire, and then they look at the comics, and she's like, boom, boom.
Right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She
What
looks
does she do in the wintertime?
She looks nothing like a teen either, like ever, and they still shoved
Yeah.
her into Teen Titan title,
Yeah,
looking
she's
like
like
that.
she's like a porn star at this point.
Yeah.
If teenage girls looked like that when I was a kid, I would have been in a lot more trouble.
Yeah, she's some underage freaking porn star, and somebody needs to call cops or child services or something.
Drop it, creep.
Right?
Well, since we're talking about comics, let's go right into what we read this week. And Piper, I'll let you go first.
Cool. I started reading Lone Wolf and Cub, the Japanese.
Oh, not something I would pick out for you.
Right? Pretty gory. What drew me to it, honestly, is it had the word wolf in the title.
Okay.
So I was
Simple needs.
so I was curious, and it actually grabbed me by the feels, I guess. Right from the beginning. So I think I am going to keep following the story. I'm really rooting for this kid. So I read like the first volume, I think, and there's a lot of parts that they keep in Japanese that I don't feel like going and referencing, but I still understand what's going on. It's not ruining. It's not messing up the story for me not knowing what some words mean. um,
So wait, you started reading that book because you thought it was about a wolf.
no, I didn't think it was about a wolf. They didn't have a wolf. I saw the cover. It didn't have a wolf on the cover. It had a dude and like a baby. So no, but it had the title Lone Wolf and Cub. So I was really curious. Who did they give the title of Lone Wolf to? You know, how did they earn that title of wolf and stuff like that? And I'm very slowly learning, I guess. But it was the title that grabbed my attention. And it is extremely Japanese.
Right out of
That's the
Japan in Japanese.
That's the easiest way to describe that one. Is it's extremely Japanese, extremely violent, and extremely gory. But that's never turned me away. Gore. So I mean, I felt bad for the kid in the beginning, but otherwise, I would suggest following this story as long as you're not squeamish and can understand what's going on.
Oh, arigato.
And what's really funny is I was reading that, and you have to read it backwards, technically, from the way we normally read
Right.
the
Right to
comics.
left.
The comics, yeah. And so then I went on and I decided to read Princess Ugg number 3 because I saw there. I found the third one, and I started reading it backwards.
Oh, that doesn't work that way, Piper.
And well, no, the bigger problem was it actually made sense for a little while, and then finally I was like, wait a minute. Why would they say that and then, oh, crap.
It's backwards.
Probably need to reread this whole page.
That's funny.
And
How was that issue? Good.
I really love the direction it's going in, and it's calmed down a little bit. If I'm allowed, am I allowed to like?
Yeah. You're fine.
Say what's happening.
Absolutely.
Okay. Princess Ugg is one of the instructors. Talks her out of giving up and leaving the academy. She tells a good backstory as to why she's there. And he says that he is going to teach her to read in private and not let the other students know. But her assignment is to make friends with her roommate, the shittiest princess in the story.
Sleeping Beauty.
Drama.
We all know Aurora is the shittiest princess. Come on, guys. Let's be real.
Hey, don't let my girlfriend hear you say that.
She's the worst.
She would not be happy.
Oh, hey, the shittiest princess in this story. The most stuck-up, annoying, stereotypical for us princess. So she's trying to make friends with her, and the only way she can figure out how is to help her take care of her brand new prized pony that her daddy gave her, that she's going to ride in a competition, and she's going to win because she's been trained to ride and blah, blah, blah. It's really neat because this pony is a unicorn, you know, a full-sized unicorn. And it's hilarious because this unicorn is a complete dick. She tries to show off, and she gets kicked off the horse. And Princess Ugg is trying really, really hard to show her how to actually tame the animal, but she refuses that help. And so the only way Princess Ugg can try to... Olga, I'm so sorry. Can try to make friends with her.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, she's basically a stable hand right now, but she's getting her ass kicked by this mean ass unicorn because she's not allowed to retaliate and train this unicorn, basically. And so it's pretty funny. So basically at the end it says now she has two enemies, that princess and her stupid ass horse. So
I always love when animals are assholes. It's the best.
I know.
Funny when an animal does it.
Yeah.
See, I know. I really like it though because it's a unicorn and the princess is fawning over it, going, "It's so rare. It's like an angel. It's so sweet and magical because it's a unicorn." And then you've got Olga going, "No, this is a devil beast." Like. So yeah, if you've been following it, or even if you haven't been following it, I would suggest starting because it's a really fun take on a princess story. Like I said, still kind of got some typical, predictable stuff in it, but the way it's done has got me reading a freaking princess story, and I never ever thought I would ever find myself doing that. So that says something.
And you love it.
Yes.
Very cool. Thank you, Piper. Is that all?
Yeah, I had a kind of rough week.
It's okay. We all have those weeks. I know. I understand. Will, what did you read this week?
I read. Let's see. What did I read? First off, I had to wait a whole extra week to read this comic because apparently a shipment at our local comic shop got ruined. But this week, I finally got to pick up Black Widow, number 9, and the cover should give you a clue as to who makes a cameo appearance in this book. And actually, the cover's really cool. It's almost like she's sitting on a giant throne of skull awesomeness. But Black Widow.
I can't for the life of me think of who would be cameoing in this. Who would be in this issue?
A gentleman by the name of the Punisher.
I was hoping it was Jim.
Yeah. It was for a second, but he turned into the Punisher. But anyways, pretty much all the issues of Black Widow kind of follow a rough outline. She's on a mission, you know, interacts with different people, has some kind of revelation about her life towards the end. Black Widow doesn't have a lot of people in her life that she's really close with or she really cares about. So I won't spoil who, but somebody in Black Widow's life ends up being in trouble at the end of this book. They're being held hostage. So
Her cat.
Yeah, her cat. Yeah.
Hawkeye, and Loki's using him as a bad guy, and now the fate of the universe is in their hands.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
And we have to get the
got a little
Cosmic Cube, I mean the Tesseract.
Yes. The only way to save the world is to give him a massive concussion.
Yes. What happened to me?
Yeah, but I got a little deja vu reading this one because that was definitely a little element, kind of what we saw in The Winter Soldier, where her mission was to infiltrate this big tanker that ended up being some sort of satellite, information installation, and it has a lot to do with SHIELD stuff. And so, of course, it's like they knew this week was Stark Week. Mr. Stark also makes an appearance in this one, trying to figure out how the system got hacked, and it was supposedly unhackable, doing his usual Tony stuff, trying to help them figure out all the tech. So, yeah, if you love spy books, you love kind of dark, edgy, kind of very rough comics, Black Widow is definitely one of my favorite. Definitely some very cool espionage elements.
So, Will, I had to interrupt you real fast. So, speaking of Stark Week, I saw a cover for Axis, which is like the next event that Marvel's happening, written by our favorite writer, Rick Remender.
Right.
And Stark is holding a martini.
Yes.
So, which means he will become a drunk again.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to read Axis and Tom Taylor's Superior Iron Man just to see Stark be a drunk.
So what you're saying is I get to cosplay drunk from now on as Stark?
Oh, yeah.
You don't do that anyway.
I gotta be authentic, right?
Hey, no matter what, that's always canon, no matter how much he says he's sobered up. Nah, that's always canon.
I already do it with Jack Sparrow. I mean, hey, chalk another character that I get to be drunk at.
That has to be awesome to cosplay.
What's funny is when I do Jack Sparrow, it's like the more I drink, the better I sound as Jack. And actually,
I think that worked for Johnny Depp too.
You're not
adventures.
Like, nice.
Cue the Hans Zimmer theme.
Yeah. I have it somewhere. Hold on.
You can also probably get away with peeing in public more often.
I try not to do that,
You could just say you're in character.
It upsets the girlfriend a little bit.
Aww.
But you're not a real pirate.
Yeah. Anyways, other thing I read this week is Harley Quinn #9. I'm gonna have a guy moment here, okay? Because those moments come out of me every once in a while. I try to be very respectful of, our fellow listeners and watchers and viewers and team members and,
Ooh, this is gonna be good.
You masturbated this issue?
She is so dang sexy, man. She is so freaking hot. This issue, Harley Quinn doing burlesque in a very tiny little outfit.
I was gonna say she seems to have less clothes in every issue.
Well, it is written by Jimmy Palmiotti, so
yes,
I like the artwork. I really do.
The artwork in this comic is always super fun. It's perfect for Harley Quinn's personality.
Yes.
She can be fun and loving, and within a blink of an eye turn sadistic and nasty. And I think that's what makes this comic so fun, is you never know where Harley's going or what she's going to do. I mean, it could change at the drop of a hat. So we have some burlesque in here. We see how, whereas I'm sure other people would deal with the situation very differently, it shows how Harley Quinn deals with a stalker, and it's completely opposite of how normal people would deal with a stalker, and it's super funny. And then later on, Harley, ends up being in the super secret hush hush. What's the first rule of Skate Club? You don't talk about Skate Club So next week we get to see what Skate Club is, because a couple issues back, Harley joined the roller derby, so.
Of course.
It's probably going to be a porn shoot.
It's one of those themed genre ones, eh?
Well, really, where do they have left to go with taking her clothes off at this point?
Yeah.
That's true. It's a good
You get to the
point.
next level, which is nude.
Yeah.
So, Will, I noticed you just got the regular cover there. What happened there, buddy?
I woke up late and you got the last one.
No selfie cover? Yeah,
You
that's
got the
right.
last
I got the
grade.
last
I don't
one.
want to talk to you right now.
You know what, you're going to hate me even more? I'm not even going to read the comic. It's going to sit in a bag. I'm not even going to pop it open.
Ooh.
I'm
Them
just kidding.
Latin
See what
words.
you're doing to me.
Yeah.
In fact, if you really want it, just remind me. I'll come bring it to you. We can trade.
Oh, you're
I wanted to see a death match.
Oh,
would've
that
been
would have
kinda
been
interesting.
awesome. I still owe a death match against Everett.
I don't
Yeah.
death match against Casey.
Verbal death match
he
against
hurt me.
Everett.
He hurt me, and I want to preserve my moneymaker.
I'm small and have rabies, so.
I'm all. He's like Rocket Raccoon. But yeah, that's all I read this week. Two awesome ladies.
Wilmar, what are you reading lately, if anything, besides your own book?
Well, I've actually been reading some novels, so it's not really comic books.
Oh, it's okay. Tell us. Inform
Okay.
us.
So,
Since
I'm
I am
trying
too
to
dumb to read books without pictures.
I'm trying to chop into Game of Thrones, but it's tough.
You know there's a
tough.
TV show, right?
I know, but
That makes it so much easier because then you don't have to read anything.
I know. It's going to be one of those 10-year projects. It's going to take me as long to finish Game of Thrones as it did to write the first book. It's going to take forever.
Let's say by the time you'll be able to catch up at least, because the last ones probably won't come out for another 10 years, so you'll be good to go.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be all caught up, and then I have to start the process again. I also read.
You know what? I can save you a lot of time. Everybody everybody likes gonna die.
Everybody-
The
I
end.
already knew that part.
The end. Saved you a lot of time. Don't get attached. There you go.
I also read This Is How You Lose Her by Junior Diaz. I don't know. It's like, imagine if you're sitting on some guy's stoop and he's telling you, so here are the people I lead, and this is the kind of trouble I got in as a child. And that's the basic gist of the book, which, I'm not quite sure how I felt about it. It was interesting, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm riveted. And you totally have to, like, speak a little bit of Spanish and Dominican in order to get the jokes, because I was like, whoa. Not for white people. I apologize.
Were they talking about mofongo?
Mofongo? No, they were talking about dirty toto. I gotta be careful. I don't want to curse in Spanish.
It's okay. We're
You're fine.
international.
I would
You
understand
totally
you. That's
can.
cool. I would understand you.
Good.
Most of my neighbors are Spanish. I do. I live in California.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Well, then, yeah. You're gonna have Spanish people and Asian people.
Yep. Exactly.
Very cool. Well, thank you. We don't, like I said, I'm too dumb to read books without pictures, so I'm always interested to hear when people are reading novels and actual books because, number one, it means you're smarter than me because fuck, I cannot. My attention span does not last that long, and there's no way. In fact, your book is the first book I've sat down and read, since high school, by far.
Wow.
Well, that's a big
man.
compliment. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. It's only because there's a superhero in it. If there was a superhero in it, I would just lie and say I wasn't reading it, and we just moved on with the interview.
Wilmar, I think that needs to be one of the quotes on your next book. It needs to be like, it was so good, it was the first book I read since high school.
Here we go on the blurb.
Yeah.
Yes.
And people are chiming in. This is a paid review. This guy's a hack. Don't listen to this bull crap.
I am enjoying it though, and like I said, it's fantastic, and the way you handle female characters is a testament, and something people should look towards for inspiration because I think you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you. Product placement.
Yes. Woo.
Yeah, there it is.
And I do love that cover. I fell in love with it immediately. Gotcha.
It's pretty pricey. But yeah, I love the cover.
Well worth it.
Never judge a book by its cover, Piper. Come on, you know.
Oh, you got to in these days. I don't blame her.
It's the cover art that draws me in, or apparently the name. that draws me in. So
Lone Wolf. That'll be the next title for the book. I already know I got a custom.
there we
Yeah,
go.
you know how to
Lone
sew in a
wolf.
pipe, or just put wolf in the title, or vampire,
Yeah.
or she
Squeeze-
devil, or anything like that. Just to get the-
Squeeze wolf somewhere into the title, and I will read it.
It's all Silver Ninja, Never Cry Wolf, or something like
Never
that.
cry wolf. Oh my god, I'm totally reading this. Hey, there's no wolves in here.
Yeah, wait, where's the wolf?
What happened?
all right, come on now. I wasn't looking for wolves. The name, the word caught my eye though, because I do love wolves. So.
Casey, what did you read this week, Casey?
I didn't read anything. No, I'm just kidding. I'm only gonna talk about 2 books because one of the I read Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man number 5, and it's fantastic. But there's Everett did a fantastic review on the site for it, so I'm not gonna go too much into it. And I talk about it every fucking month, so people are sick of hearing about Spider-Man from me, I'm sure. I will talk about other 2 books I talk about every week, though. Original Sin number 7 came out this week. The other reviewers are my colleagues, I guess, who actually get paid to review comic books. Seem to not enjoy it as much as I do. But if anyone's interested in the whole Thor drama and all that, and the big changes that are happening, the status quo changes that will be happening in Marvel, they start in this book. They start in Original 7. So there's a really cool moment where everyone's basically fighting Nick Fury, and Nick Fury is so good at his job and so fucking better than everybody else. He knows how to dismantle everyone, including Thor, instantly.
Wow.
And so the way he dismantles Thor is he whispers something in his ear. We don't know what it is, and Thor has this shocked look on his face,
And he
then the
becomes a
hammer
woman.
drops out of his... Damn it, Luna! You stepped on it.
Sorry.
He's so shocked he started menstruating.
Well, kind of. You guys are not far off. He gets this shocked look on his face, and then you see the hammer fall and land on the moon because they're fighting in space. And then he flies with the hammer and can't pick it up all of a sudden.
Wow.
So whatever Nick Fury told him was so detrimental to his psyche that it automatically made him unworthy.
Wow.
So it is this huge kind of moment. What did he say? And that's all I can think. That's all I've been thinking about for the past 2 days now. That's all I can think about. It's all I can think about. I'm so obsessed with it. I'm enthralled with this book, and with this moment of someone saying something so detrimental to one's character that it automatically deems them unworthy.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, so it's a really cool moment, and there's also this really cool moment where he knows all of Iron Man's deactivation code.
Oh, jeez.
So he whispers in Iron Man's ear and sends him back to Stark Tower. And Iron Man gives him shocked look. He's like, "Oh shit! How the fuck did you know that?"
Yeah.
And so there's these couple of cool moments like that, and it seems it's just really cool idea of just seeing why Nick Fury is the ultimate badass and why he's so much better than everybody else. Why he's the Batman of the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say he just took a page from Batman, huh?
See,
Yeah.
I have to debate because I think that Black Panther is the Batman of the Marvel universe because he can also tear down the Avengers and did it basically to show them he could, just like Batman knew how to take down all of the Justice League.
If we're gonna have this debate, then okay. So
Yes!
number one, Nick Fury
Deathmatch.
and Black Panther don't even touch Moon Knight. Moon Knight is the Batman. Was made to be the Batman.
He was, and he sucked at his job. So.
Oh, how dare you! I'm gonna send Warren Ellis to your house.
Shots
No,
fired.
no,
Shots
no.
fired.
I'm
Hey,
gonna
Wilmar,
tell you right now.
You want to get out and go grab a beer?
At his job.
This would be great.
Yeah.
He is way too doofy and to be Batman.
You're not
Black
reading.
Panther.
You're not reading the Right Moon Knight books. Go read the 6 issues from Warren Ellis, and that I guarantee your opinion will be changed.
Black Panther is
Hey.
the Marvel Batman.
Who's the host of this podcast?
You are being demoted.
No. He just pulled.
No, you
We're
have your point.
witnessing a coup d'etat right now.
In fact, Batman is more of a Marvel character than he even is a DC character. If you want to really get down to the nitty gritty.
Probably why I like him so much, and
Well,
his
that's why a lot of
universe,
people
and
like
not
him.
much of the rest of DC universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Piper.
Still, Black Panther.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's a bunch of characters and moments and like that with a bunch of different Marvel characters that have their kind of Batman.
But mostly Black Panther.
All right, fine. I'll do it. I do with my wife. Fine, you win. All right, let's move on.
Secretly, he plots your demise.
Right?
Yeah.
Gonna team up with Everett and be like, "You're not a real fan.
Fake comic girl.
You're just fake. You're not a real fan because you don't agree with me." That's why me and Everett need to throw down. That is exactly why.
Anyways, back to Original Sin.
You Everett. You Everett. You're on my list.
Everett doesn't listen to this. He doesn't care. No, he actually does. He's probably gonna email me and like, we're actually gonna have to have a set up a wrestling match between you two. It's in the works.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
But to be clear, they're friends. Everybody, they're not really gonna kill each other.
No, I love Everett like he was my brother, my annoying brother that needs kicked in the balls. My brother.
Your brother, nonetheless.
We can't always agree all the time.
Exactly. We can't always agree. I still love Everett. It would
not be fun if we always agreed all the time.
He goes about a debate in the completely just the dumbest way possible. But I still respect him in the other aspect. I just think he goes to a debate in the most childish way. Other than I'm rubber and you're glue, he goes about it really childish.
Everett's not here to defend himself, so we're going to have to say this.
Yeah.
I'm going to really have to set you guys up. We're going to have to get you guys in a room together because obviously we need to have a discussion.
If he defends himself, I will post it on all of my feeds too.
Oh, he will.
As his side, yeah.
Everett's a nice guy. No worries.
Yes.
No love lost. All right, so Original Sin.
I love
Back
it.
to Original Sin. It's really good. I'm really liking this event. I think it's DC. Fuck DC. I think it's Marvel's best DC. I think it's Marvel's best event in a long time, and I'm really enjoying it, despite what other reviewers might say about it. It's a lot of fun. I also read this week.
I'm sorry.
I'm all flustered. I also read Batman this week, and man, I disagree with my peers, but I was just not a fan of this issue. And mostly because after 0 Year and after such a great arc with the Riddler and all that stuff, we slow everything down. We get back to a one issue story. The artist changed, so it's not Capallo, it's Scalera. So it's a way different art style. The story's fine. Like I said, it's a good one-off story. It's a good jumping on point for new readers, but after the events of 0 Year and the pace that was running off, it's a huge change in direction for me, and it was kind of off-putting and not as fun. And definitely kind of missed the Scott Snyder voice, because this is also written by Jerry Duggan, who is writing Deadpool now, I believe, as well. So...
Oh, you better not fuck him up.
Oh, he's been writing Deadpool for a long time. He writes it with Brian Posehn, so actually Deadpool...
All right, we're good. As long as he doesn't fuck him up, we're good.
But yeah, so a good jumping on point for new readers. Like I said, I wasn't a fan because I've been reading every issue, and it's just it's a huge kind of direction change for now, for a time being, because you got to give Scott Snyder and Capallo a break when they're writing giant arcs over on end. So also I'm reading, and currently, because I got this week, Guardians of the Galaxy, the complete collection, Volume 1, and enjoying the shit out of it.
I want that.
Well, it's on Amazon for $25.
Yeah, I don't have $25. That's why I'm so kind of dirt when it comes to Guardians.
If you're going to buy it in the future, make sure you get it from Amazon. Normally I would not do this, but in the comic store it's $35. So the cover size is $25. So Amazon's selling it for $25. So if you are going to pick it up, get it off Amazon. I hate doing that. Everyone's please support the local comic shop, but yeah, that's...
I understand, but I'm poor, and I still want to keep up, and keeping up and being poor is it doesn't work out too good.
Well, if you move to California, Piper, you can borrow it.
Is that
California?
Is that all
I'm too poor for California. Oh, I'd be there. I'm serious. I would. I'm too poor.
Sorry, Will, go ahead.
Casey, is that the new Guardians?
No, this is the Abbott and Lanning stuff. So this is actually the volume that the movie's based off of, and they took most of the material from. So this is the rehash in 2006 or 2008, after the Annihilation stuff, where the Guardians formed.
Okay.
But it's probably the best Guardian stuff. But it's not. Once again, I got a lot of shit for this because I did write an article on like what to read if you're a Guardian, if you want to become a Guardians fan, like what you should read. And I recommended the Brian Michael Bendis book that just came out. For a couple reasons. Number one, it just came out, so you can jump into it relatively easily and find issues relatively easier. Number two, it's really easy to read. It's not so cosmic-y and like verbose. The Abbott and Lanning stuff kind of does require a little bit of backstory because you have the Guardians and then you have like a ton of other cosmic characters that are involved. If you weren't up to Annihilation and all the other cosmic events that happened beforehand, you're gonna be completely lost and it's gonna be a lot of mumbo jumbo for you.
Wait, you caught crap for that?
I did because
From who? I'll punch them. No. Why?
I understand because the Abbott and Lanning Guardians of the Galaxy stuff is considered like the sacred Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, and like people aren't really hyped with Brian Michael Bendis stuff and don't like it as much, and I understand that. I totally do. But for new readers, the Brian Michael Bendis stuff is much more approachable and much more akin to the Marvel universe that's happening now. So
that is a much easier spot for new readers to slip in. And you know what? Yeah. If they get hooked, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go back and dig up the old stuff. Yeah, the original stuff. Well. Yeah.
So you're right. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Give me shit.
Yeah, revolution.
Jerks.
All right. Man, we are way over time. So I'll give you guys a choice.
Yeah.
We can either talk about the news that happened this week, which there's a couple of good news items, or we can talk about our 3 most anticipated comic book movies, real or rumored. So I'll put it up to you guys. Movies. Wilmar says movies. Will?
I'll go with movies.
Movies. Piper?
Yeah, let's go with movies. This sounds like more fun.
All right, cool. So fuck the news. Nothing really happened.
Yeah.
Just real quick, they're talking about an Inhumans movie, so that's gonna be cool. Star-Lord's father is not Jason of Spartax. It will be someone completely different, possibly Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
I think it's Adam Warlock. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
Also, there was some other stuff that happened. Ninja Turtles probably sucks. That's about it.
They're not worth a mention. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go right into our kind of topic of the week, and we'll have to kind of move it along quickly, guys, because like I said, we're running against the clock. So I'll start with the ladies. Piper, if you could have any 3 movies made, real or rumored, what would be what's your most anticipated? What real or rumored movie are you most excited to see? 3 to 1.
Oh, 3 to 1. I would definitely. Well, obviously, I would like to see a standalone Wonder Woman movie, which I think is going to happen eventually. I guess we bitched enough.
You know, I really, really think it depends on how Batman. Like, I would not be surprised, totally not be surprised in WB and DC if Batman and Superman did not perform up to expectations, and they expect it to do better than the Avengers. I guarantee you, they expect it to make $1 billion. If it does not do their expectations, I guarantee you they start over again. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
WB doesn't know what they're doing with Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that's how it goes too. That's how they go.
I mean, Josh Whedon had a Wonder Woman script in development and they passed on it.
Yeah.
And now that guy's a fucking megastar. So I think that tells you like kind of their mindset of where they are with that character, which is scary.
Yeah. I think my second pick would be a long time ago. I actually thought this movie was in the works, and I don't think it is. But just Hulk versus Iron Man, just that as a movie.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, back in the day, it was rumored that was going down, but now I don't see it happening because it's not going to be. Oh.
Can I recommend a couple of things to you?
What's that?
Okay, so there's an animated movie. I mean, it's not the best animated movie because Marvel just doesn't. That's not something Marvel is very good at. But there's an animated movie, a Hulk and Iron Man one, on Netflix.
I've seen it.
Oh, okay, you watched it.
Okay. seen basically every comic book based cartoon that's on Netflix. I'll tell you that right now.
Also, with Original Sin, they put out an Hulk versus Iron Man comic book.
Ooh.
So I think it's 3 issues, it's up to 3 issues. It's only going to be 3 or 4 issues total, but it's basically has to do with the fact that Iron Man's or the Hulk's secret was that Iron Man was involved in him becoming the Hulk. So it's kind of their clash like storyline, and they have they go at it. So check that out.
For the movie that I almost thought was happening, I thought that the Hulkbuster unit was going to make an appearance and become part of the story. Yeah, I really did when they had that little sneak peek of Iron Man walking up and going, "So I hear you have a big problem."
Hulk problem, yeah.
Yeah, Hulk problem. Yeah, I thought that was him going, "I gotcha," and building the Hulkbuster unit and us having a Iron Man versus Hulk movie, and it didn't happen, and it doesn't seem like it would be canon now.
That's supposed to be in Avengers 2.
Is it? The Hulkbuster unit?
Yeah.
Finally?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Apparently I'm behind. I've been avoiding the internet a bit this week too, so forgive me.
That's a huge plot point in Avengers 2 is the Hulkbuster armor and
well, see, I'm trying not to spoil it for myself.
I'm trying not to know about that either, but if you watch the special, the Marvel's building a universe or whatever, they show this huge giant-sized Hulkbuster hand.
I specifically did not watch that because I did not want any spoilers at all.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot for crushing my movie.
You had one job.
Yeah, you can find the concept art out there pretty easily too. So check that out when we're done.
I'm looking for it though, damn it.
Go look for it.
Just trying to do media blackout.
Yeah.
I'm specifically not searching this shit up, man. It's
Okay,
just
so
like
what's
the
your number
Star
one?
Wars movie. I don't want to be pissed before it happens.
Yeah.
I was already pissed before. Well, at least I knew not to go watch the Ninja Turtles movie ahead of time. But the previews helped that. So.
What's your number one, Piper?
My number one.
Yeah.
That's a tough
Silver
one.
Ninja, done. Bam. Wow.
Silver Ninja, I would love to see. That would actually make a neat movie. I would definitely say Silver Ninja would definitely make my list. Crap.
Wilmar's doing a little dance, everybody, just for our viewing audience.
This is hard to choose.
All right, 10 seconds. Countdown. 10,
9,
9,
8.
8.
Black
7.
Panther versus Batman movie.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
The criteria was real or rumored, not make believe.
It could happen. They've done crossovers before, damn it. Just let Disney buy Marvel. I mean, Disney buy DC, and bam! Let me get my movies.
Like a decent Hulk movie, that'd be nice. One that's not, too far in one direction. They're also inconsistent. It's always like mediocre, never like, wow, that was awesome.
Yeah, and what I really miss is, although I like current Hulk actor, I'm not dissing him at all, but I really liked Edward Norton as the Hulk, and I really wish that he could have been kept as the Hulk and gotten a better movie.
Maybe
I agree.
he wasn't a crazy person. That could have happened.
That's the whole point, man. He was a creepy little nerd.
Perfect.
Yeah. Dude, I love him. He's just naturally creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's his face that now plays Spock? I cannot remember his name.
Zachary Quinto.
Yep.
Yeah, naturally creepy.
All right, Will. What are your top 3?
There you go.
Let's see. Number 3 on my list would definitely be dude. But you said rumored though. Can I just say one I would love to see get made into a movie? Can I say that?
Sure. Everyone's breaking my rules anyway, so what the fuck? Just say whatever you want.
Cool. The other ones, there's some talks obviously about the others. But anyways, number 3, I would love to see, and I think it would make a great movie, Dream Thief from Dark Horse. I loved that comic so much. I think it would make a really awesome concept for a movie.
Hell yeah, they set it in the 80s. Oh man, that'd be
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
awesome.
I mean, we're talking like a little bit of
Oh,
Miami
yeah.
Vice thrown in there, just
It's
that
got
kind
the nostalgia in it without
Yeah.
like punching you in the face with it.
Yeah, it's just a really cool, almost anti-hero story, and I think it would make an awesome movie. That's number 3. Number 2, I'm sure this is gonna start getting talked about if it hasn't already been, and there's kind of been, with some recent developments with this actor coming back in the spotlight. Some people will definitely argue with me that like the Marvel, or we can say the comic book movie genre, what it is now as a whole, I feel, my personal opinion, was because of 2 movies. One was Iron Man 1, and the other one was Blade. I would like to see them make another good Blade movie now that Wesley Snipes is back and he's
out of jail, paid his
Yeah,
taxes.
yeah, and he's going to be in X-Men Books 3.
How
I
old is
think-
Blade gonna be? Like 90? Come on.
Hey,
He's a daywalker, man. He just,
and if
he
Downey
lives,
Jr.
right?
can pull it off at his age, Wesley Snipes can do it just fine too. All right, so
Yeah, but vampires don't age.
Yeah, it's kind of a different character here we're talking.
It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger's playing T800 again. Like what the?
yeah, no,
Too
yeah.
amazing.
But Wesley Snipes doesn't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger has age. I'm sorry. He don't look that.
He looks a little bit better.
Yeah.
Man,
but,
you're already making me want to change my answers because I didn't realize I was putting it in the order I was.
There's no turning back. It's
No!
too late.
But yeah, man, I think if they made another Blade movie, that was as good as the first Blade movie, I think that'd be super awesome. And then obviously number 1, no surprise, Avengers: Age of Ultron. I cannot freaking wait for that movie. I'm gonna die. Like, I'm so dang excited.
But that's confirmed coming out. Isn't that breaking
Yeah.
rules too?
No,
Wait,
It's
real
confirmed
rumor.
or rumored. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rumored.
Now, I am so excited. Avengers 1 came out. I camped out at the red carpet. I went and saw it in Hollywood at midnight. I went to Jay Leno twice, once to see Robert Downey Jr., once to see Scarlett Johansson. I'm going to try to do all that and more for Avengers 2. So,
Let me just say now, screw you, everybody in California. You guys suck.
That's right.
Saying all this crap. I'm in freaking Ohio. Nothing happens here.
I'm in Jersey.
Waiting in lines for 12 hours is not as all it's cracked up to be.
No,
When
I'm
you see a poster autographed by a bunch of cool people, kind of makes it worth it.
I'm a roller coaster junkie. I know waiting in line for hours for something that lasts 2 seconds.
All right. Anyways, who's
So
next?
does my wife. But
It
Not
got
bad,
really
not
quiet.
bad.
What happened?
Nice, buddy.
all right,
Cannot
Wilmar,
be
you're
repeated.
next.
Wilmar.
Oh no!
As far as rumored movies, you guys kind of all covered the bases. I'm pretty much interested in most of those picks. If I had to do like fictional stuff, I'd totally watch a Batgirl movie if they ever made one. I mean, or Captain Marvel, because those seem kind of interesting. But I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to whatever's coming down the pipe right now. So I'm gonna be a little boring with my answer.
Aw.
For a creative writer, Lumar, that was very disappointing.
Lumar? Who the hell's Lumar?
Oh shit!
Is that my alien name or
What?
something? Lumar.
That's your
combining your
Jedi name.
names.
That's the first letters of your last name with the last letters of your first name. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Greetings. My name is Lumar.
It's getting late and I've had too much to drink.
I like that. It's got a ring to
But,
it.
but now I think we have a new Twitter name for you.
Yeah.
At Lumar.
Oh, great.
Okay, so I'll motor through mine real fast. Since we're, like I said, we're way over time.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll motor through mine. So my number 3 is Doctor Strange. I fucking love Doctor Strange. I cannot wait for that movie.
So cool.
I really
Oh
hope.
yeah.
That was my wife chiming in.
Yeah.
I really hope Jared Leto gets cast, or I would even be okay with Joaquin Phoenix. I really am excited to see them expand their universe even further into the mystical realm. I think that's gonna be a ton of fun. And Steven, I think it's Steve Derrickson, is that his name? Is the director, and he's done a bunch of good horror movies, and they're all fantastic. So I'm really really excited. Also, what else? The rumored Inhumans movie really piques my interest as well, because being a huge Game of Thrones fan, having that kind of world tied in with like mutants and superheroes and living on the moon is all very intriguing to me as well. And I love Black Bolt. He's one of my favorite characters. A guy who doesn't speak but is the most powerful being, one of the most powerful beings on the universe. And when he talks, he destroys worlds. It's just a cool concept for me. I'm really excited to see that kind of come to life on the screen. Do you guys know how annoying my wife is right now? I'm gonna punch her. Jesus Christ!
Is that the noise?
We're witnessing domestic violence here, guys.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
The cops are calling on me.
Case, your wife is
Come
always
on
the
out of
best
the building,
indicator of when we've gone over too long because she starts yelling things from the background.
I don't know, you see, she's just annoying me on purpose.
Yes.
Hi, Will.
Get out of here! Nobody wants to listen to you.
I do.
It's getting, yeah.
And last but not least, a DC movie. So my number one is a DC movie. I know, shocker, right?
Yeah.
So a while ago, Nikki Fink, kind of nerdy journalist, released like a list of supposed DC movies that were coming out, and one of them was a Green Lantern Flash team up. I would die. I would kill my Lasso Opso to see that movie happen.
Well,
I think
if they recast Green Lantern.
Oh,
Yeah, let's do it.
stop
John Stewart, Green Lantern. No more Ryan Reynolds.
No.
Oh yeah.
No. If you're gonna do the team up movie, it has to be Hal Jordan. It has to be Barry Allen because they have a relationship in the comics. They have done team up comics together before. So I would be really interested to see that.
Recast the actor. Keep whatever version.
Yeah, fine. Recast the actor.
You're such a hater.
What? I want him to be Deadpool, which is the movie I should have said is my number one.
Yes. It's too late.
Deadpool.
It's too late.
No, taking it back. Deadpool.
You've had your turn.
It's out of the universe.
So the Flash and Green Lantern would definitely be my top. I really love the ideas of a comedy, like Guardians of the Galaxy being a comedy action movie was such a great idea, and having the space thing all in there too. I really think that they could do the same thing with Flash and Green Lantern and make it a lot of fun, make it very action packed and very funny as well. So
we're gonna put them in
those
space.
would be my top three.
Space. Outer space makes everything more awesome.
It does, doesn't it?
It's just like explosions for Michael Bay. It's just
Basplosions.
We're gonna see so many more like space movies now, thanks to Guardians of the Galaxy. It kind of makes me excited.
It blended well. It did well. I liked it.
Fuck! I just had to yell at my wife. I'm sorry, you guys had to witness that.
Yeah, I saw that.
What?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so macro show. I'm getting harassed over here by the blonde bombshell
Here
herself.
comes the credits, guy.
Yeah. So Wilmar, thank you so much. Where can we find the Silver Ninja?
TheSilverNinja.com or
Wait.
at my Twitter at Wilmar Luna. Not Lumar.
Not Lumar.
Wilmar
Nope,
Luna.
it's Lumar. At Lumar.
So, yeah.
Change it now.
There you go.
So find
Amazon,
it on your.
Barnes & Noble, Smashwords. Again, TheSilverNinja.com, the website, and then my Twitter, Wilmar Luna. So, yeah, I have links everywhere.
Awesome, very cool. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Thank you guys for inviting me. I had a great time, and that's about it.
Woo!
Thank you, Wilmar. We enjoyed having you. Piper, what are your plugs?
Usually just Fizz Giggity. That's the only place I've been hanging out is at Fizz Giggity. Yeah. my brain dead. I'm on Geeks with Wives website. Shut up.
Oh, now we're all getting yelled at by our spouses.
Yeah.
Right? We're all getting yelled at now.
Who else?
Mine's
Okay.
asleep, thankfully.
Yeah, I wish mine would go to sleep. You can find me at Casey Comics. I also run the Geeks with Wives and Capes Twitter account. I'm always posting stuff to the website. Make sure you guys are going to the website every day. There's always something new going up in the comic section and all of our other sections, including cosplay, movies, TV, video games, you name it, geeky, we cover it. Soon we'll be having some more toy reviews from Will. going up there, and we will be having some costume reviews and photo shoots for myself featuring my lovely wife, who will not get off my back right now. So, Will, get us out of here.
Hey, you guys, real quick, for anybody watching, because by the time this comes out, it'll be over. But Casey and I are going to be at the Fresno Annie Jam convention in Fresno. If you see us, please come say hi. We might have a free digital comic code for you. As always, keep checking us out on the website. We hope you all had a great time, as we did, as well as our significant others yelling at us in the background. As always, you can find me on Twitter at Darth Sparrow.
I'm investing in Ambien.
Yes.
I'm investing in Ambien for you.
Go celebrate Stark Week, and as always, we'll catch you on the Geek side.